get back on the angles, kind of important thing to learn. Focus a little bit more on outside positioning. Like you don't ever have to attack somebody straight through their line, through their missiles. If you can get a little bit off that line, it's a little safer way to attack. But then we also need to get off that line and make sure our missiles are on target. So we're gonna work on that a little bit today. Just me, I wouldn't step to the right with my left leg.
Yeah, because you're gonna get hit.
I'm gonna get hit and I'm gonna get down. All right, so, whichever way I'm going, I'm always using that leg to take the consideration.
When would you pivot? You know what I mean? When would you take that kind of angle here?
So
I don't want to take that. I see a lot of people like they're coming,
Yeah.
they'll try to get away and end up in this kind of
Yeah. I'd take maybe a hard pivot if you're coming at me, but you're giving me one side. So like, say come at me hard a little bit this way.
You go that way.
Then I'll go that way. I'm just using my front foot as a pivot.
What if I'm kind of like here on you, right?
Yeah.
And you want to get to this side, how would you do it?
Yeah, I'm going to this leg first,
And then push.
get around. Or I can just get away. Like first thing is I don't want to get hit. I don't want to let you accomplish what you're trying to accomplish.
Yep.
If I'm taking it to another level, after I move, I'm looking for another attack.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if I'm coming at you here,
Yeah.
you want to get that angle,
Yeah.
and you're just gonna push off that.
Boom, yeah.
You're just gonna push off that there.
Yeah.
And then if I'm like in close, I can take that step and then
Yep.
do it.
Yep.
That would be maybe if they're in front of me, I've got them on the ropes, like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm here.
And even just there, what you did, you hit a little bit of it with your head movement.
Yep.
It's harder for me to see when it's coming. And angles are the easiest to take on somebody that's coming at you or stationary. It's almost impossible to do on somebody that's moving away from you because you're not gonna end up close enough to hit them.
Because I see a lot of people try this one here and end up like, it's just way too slow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I see people try this and it's like, don't even do it if it's gonna be that slow.
Yeah.
Because it has to be like
Yeah.
a pretty quick movement.
Or what we always do when we work on our angles,
Freeze them up.
freeze them up. Then I have that little bit of time I need to make that move.
Yeah.
Or technically I could do it off my own punch. So come at me, boom, boom. So I step with my right hand over to the side, and then I use the hook to put me back into my stance, in my position.
You got here, you got here. Because this one is a little bit slower.
But it's really not
But
that
it's
much.
different move when you're setting it up.
Say if I throw a jab, move. It's not slow.
Yeah.
Move your head and step. You could throw a right hand from there. You could throw a hook from there. If you end up a little too far away, then jab your way back in. Oh yeah, it's not as slow as you think or you feel like it is. I know how it's like, it's a lot of steps to do.
Yeah.
But it's not that slow if you time it right.
I don't have trouble, when I'm teaching it, when I'm
Yeah.
trying to show, I have trouble with showing people when they get kind of stuck like this, like where someone they can hear, or they'll do this, or they'll be out like here.
Yeah.
I find it kind of easy to, like now that I've practiced it, I can do it pretty quickly. So I'm just playing that extra, like what if, kind of back and forth with you, trying to figure out the difference. Because I guess the question would be, when would you pivot? When would you take the step and scoot?
Yeah. I mean, same thing off of my hook. You're just rolling. Again, you're making me miss. I'm hitting air. I'm in a really bad position. You can let it go.
Yes, sir.
You can always angle and angle. Do it again. Scoot again. Yeah, like you don't have to go off the first angle. You can, if you feel it's not quite there, just keep turning. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, keep turning. I'm always trying to keep my feet set on my opponent, but I'm also trying to never let them set their feet.
Yeah.
And it's like, so if we're fighting, I'm a little bit over here, a little bit over here. I'm not letting you set your feet because I know when your feet are set, you can throw. Yeah. And you see a lot of people that are fairly decent at angles, like throw a big right hand at me. Okay, I got an angle, but I'm not concerned with setting my feet. You got to set your feet afterwards to take advantage of that bad position your opponent's in.
Just keep it short, right? Angles are there, you're doing it to punch.
And it doesn't have to be a big angle. I mean, just slip, just enough angle to get past my right hand. And I'm in a bad position. I'm very vulnerable. You're in a great position.
Yes, sir. I like it. Hit and don't get hit.
Yeah.
Not just don't get hit.
Not just don't get hit. Hit, don't get hit, and hit again.
Hit again.
Yeah. When you're getting out of a bad position or you're trying to convince the judges that you're the one that's winning the fight, like I pin you to the ropes, you can do some defense, and you got to get off the ropes because it's a bad position. Get off the ropes. If you just circle out to the back, okay, no harm, no foul. But the judges just saw, okay, he's out of a bad position. Now, if you do the same thing and you take that angle and you go right back at me, now you took the bad position and you got the judges back on you.
Yeah.
So
looking to work, not just defend.
Yeah. And it really is a game against the judges. You're trying to convince them that you're the ones that winning. You're the one that's winning the fight. You're the one that's in control of the fight. That you're not just fighting your opponent off, you're in control. It also takes an account of what attack you're looking to do.
Okay.
So if you just step to your left, which you think angles your left, turn around. Now you're ending up a little too far away. Okay. You're not close enough. So you have to fight your instinct and step almost at me. Yep. And now you're in range to hit and you're a little bit out of my line. Yep. And there you set up a right hand, which is great. If that's what the shot that you're looking for, set up that right hand. Yeah, boom, slip, set up the right hand, boom, there it is. But maybe this time you want to set up the hook so you can, boom, try that one. So make sure you're in line all the way before you punch. That's the thing. Get in line before you punch. Boom. Yeah. He's countering with the hook instead of a right hand. Here, through my peripheral, I can kind of see his right hand. I can't see his hook. And normally, I got my hand here. I'm gonna get hit on my ear and the back of the, not the back of the head, but the side of the head where I don't see the shot coming. It's gonna be more effective if I don't see the shot
Especially
coming.
Especially if you turn.
Yeah.
If you turn to come and get me.
Maybe if I do it with the right hand, and I'm turning right in, and you see some guys that got the hand up, but they get clipped on the inside on the chin. If Ben's throwing punches at me, I'm used to, I can have my eyes closed. I know where the punches are gonna be. Now, if he's doing the same thing, but I'm here, all of a sudden, I'm not used to where the punches are coming from. So he's forcing me to adjust with my defense, and it's a lot more difficult. That's where the clean shots get through.
And you gotta fight your instincts not to turn with me.
Yeah.
Really quick there.
Yeah.
Like,
the idea is to not let him get the jump on me, try to take the angle. I want to be right there with him and not let him get that position. If he does get that position,
create the space.
Create the space, or say I'm stuck somewhere, you know, get somewhere safe, and then try to regain my position. You see how my hands go up immediately because I know I'm vulnerable.
Before they get the jump, you want to maintain turning with them,
yeah,
keeping that distance. But if they do get it, get back.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Or if they get on your leg, get low,
tie them up. Just know when you are vulnerable, know what shots you can be hit with, and adjust accordingly.
Don't just be like, good move.
If he throws a right hand and I throw a right hand, boom, we traded it. But I'm thinking a step or two ahead. So not only did I land my right hand, I took his right hand away. I stepped and I put myself here. It's a better position. So sometimes like you just want to land a punch, but if you can settle down and start thinking ahead, plotting what you're gonna do next, and make the next move, you're playing 3D chess instead of just regular checkers.
That little move there, that's good against the southpaw, right?
Yeah, on the jab. So this is Marquez Pacquiao, or how Pacquiao did to Cotto. It's an effective shot. Boom. If someone's overcommitting on that jab, boom. I slid through the jab. I'm not as concerned with the jab because it's a stiff punch, but I'm not gonna get knocked out with it. I'm taking the risk on this punch because I know it's not as dangerous. Taking my head off the line. I landed my right hand, and then I got my foot in a great position. I started my angle. The next thing I do is put myself in line. And look where his foot is. He could try to pivot, and he's kind of stuck. And I can keep using that pivot point and keep hitting him, especially with the orthodox versus the southpaw, or vice versa.
That'd be a time where you use that opposite hand, opposite foot type of movement, right?
Yep, yeah, so that's what my initial move was on you, was I moved my head and I stepped with my left foot on my right hand, thinking about the place I'm going to. Super duper, extra tricky one I really like is when you drop under and touch the body as you go. Hey, it's extra dangerous because he's catching me in a punch while I'm punching, which usually you're not as braced for. He's gonna step like he's escaping through my armpit crease. And almost at the same time, you drop step. Thinking ahead where I wanna go, but I'm also getting away from that right hand. And I also know I'm gonna be a little vulnerable here, so you see me pick that shot up. Pick it up here, turn the hip to land the punch, realign.
Beautiful.
There you go. And you're in line, yep. Yep, and this hit me right in the bread box, right in the solar plexus. It's gonna hurt no matter what.
And what about the other side?
Other side? So I'm gonna drop step this way. I'm checking my defense here. In every big move you make, you're a little bit off balance for a moment, but you gotta get right, just keep the movement going. As I gotta bring my stance back, I'm gonna bring a hook with it.
So I'm here, bring the foot across,
yep.
And then go all the way. Do I go under here, then come? Doesn't matter?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
So bang and then scoot. Bang.
Yep. You can go body head, stay to the body, whatever
Or
you
just
feel.
drag the foot across.
This doesn't have to be a hard shot. It's dangerous. I think the punches you don't see are way more dangerous than the hard shots are. Even on the outside, if I just have some head movement, you see how I'm keeping my opponent offset. I'm not letting him set his feet, just using head movement and lateral steps. Sometimes that's all you need. It gives him enough to think about to where he's worried about what I'm doing and not just driving in an attack. And also the angles can be adjusting my position while I'm punching is also keeping me in position to punch while he's there. So say he's moving this way, I'm adjusting with him. I'm not letting him get an angle on me. I'm adjusting my punches with my steps. And you look at the guys right now that are really good at the angles. I say Bam Rodriguez, still Lomachenko is probably one of the best ever to do it. They're all subtle and you don't know when they're coming. He's moving his head, he's going, the angle's just there and he goes to work off of it. You know?
Now Chris, they're all short opponents.
Yeah.
Or altitude deficient. They're the ones you see mostly taking angles. You know, even if you think of Mike Tyson, right, he falls off angles. What about taller fighters?
Like Roy Jones was relatively rangy. Even Bam, like he's short because he's in a small weight class, but he's pretty rangy for his style. He's tall for his height, yeah. Like if it's a taller guy, if I can keep you on the outside at your range and I see you're making a big move in, I can guide you here, boom, boom, keep stuff from the outside. You know, use my range as a force field to not let you in.
Do taller fighters need to take angles like shorter fighters, or because I'm outside, my angles are a little bit more?
Anytime you're on a line and I'm not, your punches are gonna be more effective.
Okay.
Yeah, so like, if you land that right hand right there, boom. Now, if you land that right hand here, it's an advantage.
So your angles as a taller fighter from the outside, you never want to be fighting right in front. You want to be fighting off that angle, but they're a little bit more, like, what would you say, like subtle?
Very subtle, just very subtle.
I need to be here instead of like a short fighter. It's got to be constantly moving close, right?
Now, if I'm fighting an aggressive shorter guy that's making big moves, my angles can be big.
Boom.
Yeah, then definitely make your angles big. Just don't make them so big that you're not in position to let your hands go afterwards.
Yeah, instead of like here, it's here and
right back to work. Yeah. If you can build a habit of like every time you take the angle, part of it is putting yourself back in line on your opponent. The punches will just come more natural off of it. You'll look to work. Such a good advantage. All right, let's just start with the basic. We'll throw a 1-2. A lot of the angles you do depends on where your weight finishes. I'm kind of central here, so I can either go either way. I can either push off to my right or step over to my left. First, we're gonna step over to the left, finish off the line, and I'm gonna reset my cross. I'm already gonna be ready to punch when the foot lands. Sometimes I see my right hand lands and I might recognize that they're here. Then I'll go ahead and just leave it out and take the angle. I might throw it, come back, see that there's a counter right hand coming, and then do it so that they both work. Yep. All right, next one, we're gonna go to set up the right hand to the right. I'm throwing punches first because I want to try to freeze my opponent. If I just turn, they're gonna turn, you know, unless I'm making them miss when they're throwing a punch. But 1, 2, I'm gonna make sure my weight's here. I'm gonna use this weight to slide to the right, not back, but to the right. And see how I'm checking my defense here, because I know that's where I'm vulnerable. Setting up the right hand. Work time. Time, that looks good. Let's go back to the outside or to the left and set up the hook. We'll throw 1, 2, 3 to freeze them up. If I'm going left, I'm mostly gonna use my left leg first. This time, I'm gonna throw a powerful hook when my back foot plants. It could be a 3, 2, 3. Right back. Yeah, just one hook, just one hook. So I'm keeping the shoulder open because that's the punch I want to throw, but I don't throw it till my toe hits. My toe hits, boom, I sit back to the heel. Roll off of it. good, you got the bag moving, it gives you the direction you want to go. Yeah, it's giving you the way out, you take it. Your opponent's going to do the same thing.
Practicing movements, do it over and over again, and angles are probably the most effective way to land your offense and defend yourself. So, hope you enjoyed that lesson today. Gave you a little, we took a little dive into angles. Made a video a while ago. Go back and check that one out. That one is a little more fundamentals. And today we kind of broke it down, put it into practice a little bit more. We have a school community, links in the bio. Check it out.